Hi, my name's Emily. Welcome back. If you're a returning subscriber, I'll just wait a couple seconds for it to all load in because sometimes these live streams cut off the first couple seconds. But hey, hello. Today I'm going to be doing another doll unboxing, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of Chanel. What's Chanel's last name? I can't even remember. Chanel Onyx. She's a super gorgeous doll. She came out first in the original Shadow High line, and she has had, I want to say she had another doll as well. Don't quote me, I could be wrong on that. She might have had one in like the costume, like dress up ball line. I can't totally remember. I feel like she's been released other times, but not Monster High. So I just did a Monster High video on Draculaura, who's behind me now. I just unboxed her. If you'd like to see that video, it was on, I'll show you a little sneak peek. It was on Sweet 1600, or it's called Scary Sweet 1600 Draculaura from G3. If you'd like to see that, that was the last video that just went up on my channel. Anyway, yeah, so Chanel has been an existing Rainbow High character for a while, and I've always thought she was really pretty. However, none of her dolls spoke to me in the way that I was like, that's the one. And I was kind of hoping they would come out with something for her in a way that would interest me, because I think she's a really, sorry, I'm just going to do my lashes. I think she's a really beautiful character. I just think it's so unique to have, she's kind of like Catty Noir with like the totally black skin tone, and like the way that they do her makeup and stuff, being contrasted or not contrasted, it just looks very striking. She's a very pretty doll. So I was excited when they came out with her recently in the new kind of, what do they call this line? There's not much on the box, but this new, I guess, designer or like collector's Shadow High line, we finally get Chanel in a more high-end, in my opinion, outfit. I have lots of Chanel's clothes from her previous dolls because actually she has some of the best outfits, in my opinion, from Rainbow High. But I won't buy a doll just for the outfit. I'm very fussy when it comes to bringing a doll into my life. I must like everything about the doll. The doll herself, the things she's wearing, the accessories she comes with, the concept, everything. And so it's quite fussy for me to finally buy a doll. And Chanel had strong outfits before, but she never was a doll that I was like perfect on. Finally, they've released this one, and she's stunning. And I can't wait to get her into her OG outfits as well, because I have bought some of her previous outfits on Facebook Marketplace kind of a couple of years ago now. I just bought them to use on my other dolls, but I'm excited to put them on Chanel, and then she can have like a bigger closet that is actually her own closet. Anyway, I'm going to talk through the doll itself from the exterior. I will talk about the back of the box. There is not a lot to talk about with this packaging. It is a very simple box, and I don't know if I will even keep most of it. Usually I keep parts of the doll packaging just because doll packaging is so much a part of the doll experience for me, but I ordered her from Amazon, the big evil Amazon, unfortunately, because she is so not available in Australia right now. It seems to be that there is no listing for her anywhere that I can find conveniently, or like, I mean, conveniently, any of the stores really. So I'm not sure if she is coming to Australia at all, or if she's going to have a regular store release, because in Australia we did get all of the normal Rainbow High dolls on shelves as released as per normal, but I haven't seen this particular new line anywhere. I also thought that Rainbow High was dead because they were inactive on their Instagram account. They weren't pumping out new dolls. When they did pump out new dolls, it was definitely not marketed towards like the collector audience. It was all like the, I don't say gimmicks as though it's a bad thing. Children enjoy these gimmicks, and it's fun and exciting for them. And when I was a child, I would have enjoyed this stuff as well. But I'm an adult collector, so I'm looking for different things in my dolls. But, you know, the dolls with like the glittery see-through legs, the dolls without articulation. I mean, as a kid, I would have appreciated articulation, but these simpler budget dolls and these kind of more gimmick style doll lines, I thought that they were just going for a different audience. But this doll line where they've come out with Chanel, and there was one other character who I've forgotten, sorry, these guys are definitely that more collector doll line. If you search up Chanel, like S-H-A, Chanel Onyx, you'll definitely be able to find this new kind of more collector style doll. And I was so glad they came out with some more collector dolls. I'm not sure if they're going to be totally bringing back Rainbow High from the dead or Shadow High from the dead, but it's fun even if it is just for one last doll. I'm going to talk about the front of the box now. So we have this transparent kind of front. It's on an angle there. Chanel is in a kind of rainbow background, so it's not very Shadow High-esque. Sorry about my lights, they're hugely reflective, but we have a little rainbow gradient going from red to orange to yellow to blue to purple up here. We don't really have a green going through. They kind of put like a little white bit instead of green there. And yeah, we just kind of have this rainbow gradient going up to like this magenta-y, pinky purple color that they often use on Rainbow High packaging. We have up the top here, it says Chanel Onyx. It says from series 1, because I guess she was from series 1 of Shadow High. And then, yeah, she has some like rays coming out. Is she from a runway line? It says Chanel in like this kind of runway blaring reflective lights kind of thing, and the whole back of it is like holographic and reflective. On the front of the box here it says Shadow High in holographic font as well, and it just says down here 1 set, and then down here it's got a little warning. So yeah, those are all the details for her. And of course, Amazon has banged up this packaging, so we have dinted sides. If this was a collector doll that was staying in box, I would be absolutely disappointed, but this is what the bottom of the box looks like. This is what the barcode looks like, if that helps anyone out. The side of the box, we just have this kind of like Chanel inspired, like Chanel the brand, tweed print, which I love that Chanel kind of has this like tweed that is inspired by the actual brand Chanel, because I love the, you know, high-end designer inspiration behind these dolls. And I love that she's like cinched at the waist. As you can tell, I love a good waist cinch. I just think it's so like, it says down here in this like little silver chain, Shadow High. Does that say high there? Or no, just says Shadow. And then it's got a gap, and then it goes Shadow. And there's kind of like this, I'm not sure if you'll even be able to tell, but there's like a laced up stitching down the side of the box and tied with a bow at the bottom there. They had this like faux edging done in like a faux metal down there. It's just printed onto the box. And that's the same on the other side with the little shadow chain and then the little stitching down the side of the tweed. And again, the top and the bottom of the box on both sides has that little like faux briefcase, faux suitcase kind of like metal detailing there. Back of the box, we just have this giant artwork of Chanel. She looks absolutely stunning in this artwork. I actually really like the way she looks here. If I was going to keep anything from this doll's packaging, it would be this artwork, just because I think it's very, very striking. So hopefully I can save that. On the top, we have, let me flip it over. It just says, let your true colors shine on this little plaque here, which is black. It seems to be screwed on with little silver screws, and then or silver bedazzles really, and then it's in a little like silver plugged frame. And we've again got these little suitcase sides on all the sides of the cardboard parts of the box. Now, let me try and remove her in a way that doesn't damage this back artwork piece, because I would like to retain that if possible. Not planned, but I'm using my Paris Hilton scissors, which is kind of funny because Paris Hilton actually was the celebrity who collaborated with Rainbow High back in their heyday. I might actually unbox her from this side. We've got some details down here, like a little QR code. I'm not sure where that takes you, and there's the little Rainbow High YouTube sticker down there. I think I'm going to open her from this side. I think it's going to be the most effective way of getting her out without damaging that artwork that I may keep. I don't think I'll keep the rest of the box, though. I don't think there's much point. I'm not as attached to this doll packaging. You know, back in the day, they used to have really, really cute doll packaging, but recently, the way that Monster High has been coming out with blister packs and the way that Rainbow High is essentially dead, I don't know, I just don't feel as attached to this doll packaging. If a doll is beautiful in the packaging, I might want to keep her in box, but this doll doesn't appeal to me as an inbox doll at all, and so I think that I'm going to enjoy much more of her by dressing her up. See, that was all bumped out of shape from the Amazon parcel. They didn't put her in a box. They just put her in a paper bag, which is fine. But, you know. Let's talk about Chanel before I actually take her out. She's holding this anti-sparkle newspaper, which is just a piece of molded plastic with a sticker around it. Some people I have seen online absolutely hate this accessory, and I do wish she'd come with more. For a collector doll of this price point, she should really be coming with a doll stand. I really think that they skimped out on that, and it's kind of frustrating to me because all my other Rainbow High dolls have doll stands. All my other Shadow High dolls have doll stands. Even my collector dolls like the Luna and Sunny 2-pack set. Like, they should have come with doll stands for this. It's just like, they're obviously marketing it towards a collector adult doll audience. So why are they not, you know, presenting the doll correctly as such? Anyway, she has micro braids. They're kind of in a top knot at the top of her head. They're like half up, half down, so the rest of them are out. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave her in this hairstyle. I'll definitely keep the micro braids, of course, but I might do a different hairstyle because it's just really pretty. It just depends on the inspiration online. I might stalk through what other people have done with her hair and see if I like the way that it looks down first, just because with doll hair, when they have it in like a bun that's like, I think this has a bit of gel in it and stuff, if I take it out, I don't know if I'd be able to put it back in such a tight bun as she's come with. So I want to be quite sure before I take out her factory hair. I do like this top knot. It's kind of like she's had a braid first and then they've wrapped the braid around itself into a top knot. So I think that looks quite nice. She's wearing this button-up shirt here. It has puffed sleeves. It has a little bow tied at the front, which kind of reminds me of the side of the packaging, how this bow is like, you know, going down, and then there's a bow at the bottom with this little Shadow High logo in the middle there. So this bow on her shirt, there's a little pearl kind of bit there. It doesn't say Shadow High on it, though. It just is like a... What does it say? It does. It says SH on it, and it is just a white button. I'm not sure if it's pearlescent, but it does say SH. You're not going to be able to see it because it's so small. We've got 2 black buttons. I love the puff sleeves. I love the collar, and I love the corseted waist piece. I wish these were all separate pieces, but I have seen online that these are not separate pieces. This is one piece. So this is a kind of tweed material that is so reminiscent of what Chanel comes out with the tweed that they do. And see how, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see, this is that ribbon stitch that you saw on the side of her box. So her packaging does actually tie into her doll. Like this stitching here, the little crosses, is what is laced down the front of her shirt here. If you can see that there. You can see the ribbon. And then it's tied in a little bow at the bottom. I'm not sure if this would be sewn in or if this is something you can remove, but I don't want to mess it up. This is attached to a string that goes down the whole doll, and this string ties in a bow at this bottom here. Across the bottom, we have this chain design that I showed you on the side of the box with the chain saying shadow, chain saying shadow again. There are some pearls in the design. I didn't even notice that on the box, but I'll show you. So see how it's like chains, some pearls, and then the word shadow. This also has some chains and pearls, and then the word shadow. There are also some black sequins, which I didn't know about when I was looking at her online, but there are some details of some black sequins in there. Overall, this centerpiece is really, really beautiful, and I really wish these were all separate pieces because this would be a fun piece to restyle with. This would be too, and this would be great to be able to have separately. I have seen a lot of people online cutting this piece off so that the dress looks like that instead. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because it kind of reminds me of a mermaid tail. I like the pleating in it, but yes, again, I'm not too stoked that it's a sewn in piece, so that this is all one dress. Anyway, let's talk about her shoes really quickly. Her shoes are quite simple, to be honest. They are just, let me take her out of the box and we'll talk about them more. I feel like I'm talking about too much of her while she's still in box and it's getting a bit difficult. But yeah, I'm really excited about this doll. I think she's really, really pretty. How do I get her arms out of the box? I need to do some more snipping. I'm going to take my time with getting her out of the box because with these dolls, as much as I'm trying to share with you guys the unboxing experience, I'd rather be absolutely focused on making sure the doll comes out of the box nicely than taking the doll out of the box and messing it up and then being upset that the doll is snipped. That would really hurt my feelings. So we've got, I can't even remember if Heather Grayson is the other character in this, but it's an anti-sparkle magazine with a belt around the center of it. And there's a little hole there so that she can hold it in her hands. And down the bottom, it says Chanel Onyx. It's not going to focus. Chanel Onyx and Heather Grayson. I don't know if you can tell, but this is already wrinkled here. It's just a sticker that's stuck on, but it's not even pressed in very accurately. So I don't love that. It says, of course you missed us. Come back. We never left, which is kind of funny because, you know, they are having a comeback. It says Natasha Zima's top 10 beauty hacks, exclusive interviews with Shadow High top students. So that's what the magazine's about. I do think it's cute that they put that little reference in there, but I don't love the quality of this little clutch. I don't think it's an ugly or bad clutch per se though. Does it open? No, I don't think it does. There is a seam there that made me wonder if it opens, but I don't think it does. Okay, back to working on the doll. I love that they brought back the articulation for this girl because I would not have been happy if she was without articulation. I don't know if I would have even got her. Her joints are stiff though, like super stiff, which is probably good because they'll probably loosen up over time. But yeah, it's quite a stiff arm joint we have going here. Okay, let me snip around her hair very carefully. Imagine if I lost a braid. That would really annoy me. Cool. One side is good. That was scary. I hate these, you know, T kind of tags that they put through the doll's head. Especially some of these T tags through the doll's head are through the micro braids, and I really don't want the micro braids to be messed up and be like, you know, damaged, because it'd be very difficult for me to like re-braid the micro braid, just because it's like such a tiny piece of synthetic hair. Really put her in here with a lot of those ties on her head. Like, I feel like more than they used to. Oh my gosh, how many ties does she have on the back of her head? I'm just going to rip this because I don't care about the plastic. And I'd rather be able to see her clearly. Okay, where's she tied in? One more tie on the back of her head. Okay. You can see there's so many holes because they tied the back of her head in so many times. This is like the most I've done. I can show you the back of the packaging as well after I pull this out. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I'm so glad I got her. She's literally gorgeous. Like, now that she's out, I love her even more. Her face is so pretty. Were these braids supposed to be in her hair? I think yes. I think I will be taking the braid out because what is going on here? Oh, wait, she has them on each side. It's on purpose. That's fine then. I was like, if she just had some out, I'd be kind of annoyed. But if she has two on each side, that could look cohesive. Wait. I'll show you the back of the packaging really quickly. It says Chanel and like kind of like runway lights. Can you see what I mean? Okay. So let me stand her up and we'll have a look at her hair properly. So she has these were kind of scooped back in the box, but I guess they're like her money pieces. I actually don't mind that. She's very pretty. The micro braids feel really nice. Like, it's a really soft texture. Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. She's such a pretty doll. She's definitely the prettiest Chanel in my opinion. As per usual, we've got articulation at the neck, at the elbows, at the at the shoulders and the elbows, and at the wrists, in all directions of the wrists. So not only the 360 swiveling of the hand, but the up down as well. I do want to point out, look how long her nails are. I love that they gave her these big silver claws. They look great. I kind of wish they were shiny. They're just matte. And they're such like a long length. They remind me of these nails I got in Japan once. Like, anyway, love that. Would they have looked better white? No, they might have been too contrast white. This ties in better with like the pattern that's here. Like, it's a bit more cohesive. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. What else do I want to talk about? So articulation. She doesn't have any chest articulation. And then let me show you her underwear are printed on, so there's no seam there. It's just like printed silver underwear. She has thigh articulation. Oh my gosh, does she? I mean, usually Rainbow High does, but this is so stiff. Yes, she does have thigh articulation. It's just super stiff. So you can like pose her like stand to the side like, wait, let me show you what I mean. Like, she could be like side on, or she can have her leg front on as well. Side on's like such like a fashion pose, so I kind of like that. Anyway, so she had that thigh articulation with the swivel there. We've got the bending knee joint that can go a very far amount for a doll like this, so she can really actually sit down. And then we do not have ankle articulation. Ooh, I feel like my other Rainbow High dolls probably do all have ankle articulation. I can't remember now. It's kind of been a while. Oh, no, you know what? They all had a removable knee joint so that you could change between flat-footed and heeled feet. I remember now. Anyway, let's talk about some other details about the doll. So I've talked all about her outfit already. I'll just show you the back because I referenced this already. This is all one Velcroed piece. So we do not have any separation between the 3 different fabrics. This is all one dress, unfortunately. I still think it's a really cute dress though. Like, I actually love this outfit. I think it's so high fashion. And it kind of reminds me of like the best version of something that would have looked also really good on the K-pop inspired dolls that Shadow High did. It kind of reminds me of their kind of aesthetic a little bit. So at the top, we've got the top knot bun, as I mentioned. Here is a view of the back. So her hair is just straightened out. If I boil wash this, will it make it even more smooth? I'm not sure, but I can feel little like gritty bits of like gel in there. They've definitely like put a lot of product in. Her braids are not too damaged by the packaging. I think it's gonna be all right. I'm satisfied by that. There are still, like, you can see the little plastic bits. I need to go in with a pair of twists and really separate their hairs so that I can get out every single bit of plastic from there without damaging her. I love her rooted lashes, or like set of lashes, I guess. It's like a lash band that they have shoved in there. They're really pretty. She has these black brows. She has black baby hairs on this side down here, and some more down here. And they're pretty accurately painted, actually. It's not like they missed the baby hairs, because sometimes I know that they have worse screening jobs, but I think that looks quite nice. In her actual hair, all of her hair is black, and then she has a white streak with grey streak around it. So it's like, it like fans out. So it goes from white to grey to like black for the rest of it. So I think that's quite a nice little ombre streak there. Her actual eye makeup itself, there is a purple iridescent brow bone highlight, which I think is such a beautiful, subtle highlight on her face. She has, on her eyes, she has a cat wing, she has a white inner corner, she has kind of like a double wing there, like there's an extra wing right there, which I kind of like. She has iridescent, kind of mermaidy colored teal glitter eyeshadow on her top and bottom of her eye. On her bottom lashes, she has 5 white eyelashes. I think that's a stunning choice for a doll with a black complexion. I think that's so nice. It's such a nice contrast. I also like that they gave her a little bit of a grey shimmery eyeshadow. Is it blue? No, I think it's just grey. And they also gave her a little bit of the grey eyeshadow on the bottom, which is really, really pretty on her. I think that I thought it was blue just because the iridescence of the glitter they used for her has like a blue-green reflect. Now, I will say, you can see that there's less glitter on this side and there's a bit more on this side. I think it's a bit chunky on this side, and I might even like scratch a little bit of it off from this side just so that it's a little bit more even, because I think it actually looks a little bit better on the less glitter side. This looks a little like chunky and like not harsh, because that sounds rude, but like there's a little bit too much on her lower lash line on the outer corner there, whereas I like how precise the placement is on this eye. You can tell the difference. I will be scratching off a little bit from here just to bring it down a touch. She has an ombre lip. The ombre is from white to black, and it has a purplish hue to it. She has an open teeth, an open mouth kind of tooth mold. She's like, I don't know how to describe that. It's really pretty though. I don't know why she's not in focus and I am. There we go. Her eyes are really pretty. They are like a blue, purple kind of shade. Not purple. Yeah. Kind of like violet. Bluey violet kind of shade. I think they're pretty. And then her earrings, I also haven't discussed about her earrings. They are a large grey gem. And then the bottom is a heart that says Shadow High. And as you may know, I love hearts, so that's great. And I like the little emerald cut gem. This one looks a little bit better than this one, to be honest. No, actually, they're both fine. Yeah, it's like an emerald cut gem in like a little silver pronged base as the beginning. And then just the Shadow High plate is hanging down. It kind of reminds me of like, yeah, like something that she would wear in the Barbie movie, because Chanel is like very Barbie, I feel. Anyway, let's go down into her skirt. Something I didn't notice about the skirt is there's a bit of a sheen to it. There's a second layer underneath. There is a lining that is darker. So I guess that gives a little bit of dimension. You can kind of see it here in certain angles. It kind of gives a darkness to the top and makes it look a little bit more ombre. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a mermaid, the way that it is angled here like a dolphin hem. And the pleating is really nice. Now let's talk about her shoes, because I feel like that's the one thing I haven't gone into detail about. There is the elastic on the shoes, and I'll probably leave that on for a while. These are not open-toe shoes, which I am quite surprised by. The shoes are not bad, but they're not the best shoes ever. They're just plain pumps that have a pointed toe. They are sling back, and the toe has a ruffle around the front here. I do think that there are better doll shoes, but they're not the worst doll shoes ever. They're quite classy, really. And the back of them just says Onyx, 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 Onyx all over the back, which is her surname. The bottom of the doll shoes look like this. They're just plain heels I think she's a really gorgeous doll. I wish that she came with some more accessories. They've been giving us combs with every doll. I don't mind that they didn't give us a comb with her, but I do think she needs a doll stand, and I'm frustrated that she didn't come with one. I'm sure that many other collectors feel the same way. I think she's really pretty. I'm glad to have a beautiful Chanel in my collection. I don't know how I feel about these money pieces, to be honest, because they don't really lay how you'd kind of hope for them to. Oh, maybe they will. I don't know. I'm feeling like they're sticking up a little bit in a way that's frustrating me. I might just take out this hairstyle because I want them to look like more natural. Maybe it's just the way that the synthetic hair is like laying. Maybe a boil would fix this. I don't know. There is a bit of like glue in this, but see how this one is like sticking out a bit? I like how this is looking. This looks natural. This looks like 3 pieces of polyester. Anyway, she's a really beautiful doll. I'm excited about her. Thanks, Shadow High, for creating a Chanel for me. She's the doll for me. She's the girl for me. I'm excited to introduce her to the rest of my Rainbow High dolls. Even though I said I wasn't going to get any more Rainbow High dolls, it seems like I was a fibber, and there are definitely ways that MGA can still get me. Ooh. One more detail. The front of this looks like it's buttoned up. So it looks like they've got this separate piece here, as though she's like buttoned up this piece over the top of her outfit. Gosh, I wish these were separate pieces. I'm so excited to redress her. She's gonna be such a fun doll. Such a fun doll to play dress up with. Okay, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like, comment down below what you'd like to see from me next. You can subscribe to me if you'd like to see more from me. You can hit the join button down below if you'd like to pay an amount. You can pay, there's different levels of subscription, and you can pay as per your interest of how you'd like to support me if you'd like to. But of course, if you would not like to do that, you can still watch my videos all the time. I'm always uploading as per usual, as per normal on YouTube. So you can find me all the time, mostly on YouTube, but you can also find me on Instagram as well at EmilyTitch20. I also upload on other social medias as well. I'm always at EmilyTitch20, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. I need a drink of water. I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening to me yap all evening. More doll videos to come. Probably not more Rainbow High / Shadow High, because I don't think they're making more collector dolls at the moment. At least no one seems to be talking about more dolls from them, and there haven't seemed to be any more leaks. So that's kind of sad. But if they bring out more dolls, maybe I would be interested if they're full collectors. They weren't a bad line. They're just not my favorite line ever. And I feel like there are a lot of doll lines that are pumping out good stuff at the moment. It's quite a competitive market, but we wouldn't even have the market if it wasn't thanks to... what was I going to say? Thanks to LOL Surprise. Anyway, bye.